Either way is fine. So in this specific session, we'll be pretty much deploying it to ECR or Elastic Container Registry. So I'm just going to open up these things real quick. I can just go on to ECS here quick. You'll be able, I'm just going to give you a brief introduction to these sort of concepts here. But if I actually open up repositories under ECR, you'll be able to see, I already have 2 repositories here. So let me just delete them quick. This is for some of my personal projects. It's fine. Let's see if I have any task definition running here. Nope. Cluster. Cool. So let's see. Let's just initialize an application here real quick. I'll just go on to desktop. Fine. I think I can just do it yarn create. Oh, she's and type with a yarn create next up with Docker. So this command sort of gives you some presets onto, like it gives you some sort of presets in terms of the Docker configuration file and things like that. But I'll actually take you through what each sort of line does. But it's a really straightforward setup that gets your next application running in a container. But of course, in order for you to be able to do any of this, you will have to have Docker installed and running on the machine. But in the meantime, while I'm still building that, I'll just go onto ECR here, like the repository here. Create a repository. I'm just going to create a private one there, and I'll just call it test. My repo. Yeah, cool. Already had that one there. I'll just go. I'll just keep it like this. I'm not gonna use any encryption key there. It should be fine. Okay, cool. I'll just create that. So now that I have my repository, I can actually push my images onto this repository. This is very much similar to what sort of GitHub. What am I saying? A Bitbucket Docker Hub does actually. So it's just a repository for images. Okay. And then here, I'm just gonna CD into my app here, and then I'm just gonna open it in VS Code quick. And so now I'm just gonna bring this over here. That's my way. Clean workflow there. So if I actually open up my Docker file, you'll see that I'm actually building out an image from Appline, which is very much an image that sort of supports, it's very much like the lightest image that supports Node.js. And what I'm doing is I'm actually installing some packages. I'm actually, specifying a working directory, moving the package.json, installing the packages, and I'm creating another image. As you can see, I can actually called it here because I was going to reuse it in the other sort of container that I'm creating there. I'm going to rebuild the container using the exact same image, specify a working directory, copy pretty much everything that's in here within that working directory, use the previous image that I created there, and then sort of merge the 2 node modules. And then I'm actually running a yarn build here to build the static assets there, or my assets for production. And then I'm gonna reuse pretty much this builder in the next day. In the very next steps. What I'm doing is exactly the same thing, pulling the image here, uh, specifying a working directory. What do you call this? Specifying, passing an environmental variable, which is basically the node env here. What do you call it? Running these commands. I'm not completely sure what this does, but I'm yeah. These are pretty much sort of gives some sort of permissions to what do you call it? This is adding a group to. If you're familiar with some Linux command, you'll see that this is adding a group to the system, and this is adding a user for Next. And then we actually basically just copying all the everything from these previous images or containers into this running one, specifying. We're actually specifying the user that I believe we created above there on this line, and then we're exposing the ports. We're just exposing the ports because in the next applications run on 3000, and then we're just running the on starts to get the thing running there, to get the server running. We can easily test that by using the command. First of all, building the image here. So I'm just gonna say Docker. If I do a Docker images, you'll see that I have already a few images on my local here, but I'm just gonna build this image here based on this I'll say Dockerfile. So I'll just go Docker build, and then I'll just say let me just call it my app image, and then this dot just means that I'm using the current context, which is basically the Dockerfile that's defined there. Right, so it's probably going to take a few minutes to build out the image. And also I was actually running into some issues lately with the M1 chip. I don't know if I'm gonna run into it again, but it looks like Docker is not really building out images properly on M1 chips for some reasons. I didn't really find any solution, but if we run into the same issue, I'm gonna have to push the image from my either laptop to ECR again, and then we can actually keep going. But yeah, I just want to put it out there so we're not surprised.
Sorry, when you say M1 chips, you mean you're referring to
the laptop, the CPU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right.
Tony, did you try maybe using Rosetta as the terminal and use it from there?
No, I didn't. Okay. Does it work better with Rosetta?
Yeah, because I remember that time when I had a problem with installing Node modules. Yeah, so it didn't work until I had to use Rosetta as the terminal, and then it worked after that.
Cool. I'll definitely try that out if I run into that issue. So I'll know exactly how to do that.
Oh,
all right. Cool. So I'm just gonna run my Docker images again so we can actually see. As you can see that I actually have this new image that was created like about a minute ago, and then I have my image ID here that I can actually reuse to pretty much do all the operations onto the thing. So what I will do at this point is just tag. Okay, let me just run the image for now, just so we're sure that it's running properly. So I'll just go do a Docker run in interactive mode. I'm just gonna do a port mapping here. I'll say I'm gonna map to the port 80 because I have pretty much nothing running on that, and then I'll just specify the image ID there. So yeah, this should actually start up the server, as you can see. So if I go to my browser and just say localhost, since I'm mapping the 3000 onto 80, I can easily, I can see my application running here. And this is running directly from the, this is the container pretty much running. So what I will do here is just kill that and then tag it and then push it to my remote repository here. So I'll just open it here. It's still empty. So what I will do is do a Docker tag. I'll tag the name. My image name is my app Shit. I really can't type today. It's freezing. Okay, my tag image. And then what I will do is pass in latest. I mean, which is pretty much the version. Now I can actually even leave it like this. It's fine. And then what I will do is tag this URI here. Just copy it there. All right, so now it's tagged. I'm just gonna run it Docker images again, just so you can see. You can see that this that's the image, like my Docker image here. I actually tagged it with this. I mean the destination URL there, so I can actually be able to easily push it to the remote repository. It's like very much attaching your origin to your Git thing, if I may actually put it that way. So I'm just gonna okay, I'm just gonna do my Docker push. I mean, it's exactly the same philosophy there. You can actually push the way you'll push to a GitHub repository. Just gonna use the same URI, and then should be able to push the image. Hold on. Oh yeah, the token is expired. Okay, so I need to sort of authenticate onto onto my AWS console and the ECR, I'll say console, in order for me to be able to push. So I'm just gonna do my AWS. This command is quite long, but I'm just gonna take you through it. This is pretty much the command to actually sort of log into your AWS console, and then I'm using Docker to actually also log into sort of their registry and things. So yeah, I'm just gonna run that, and it should do it. And then I'm just gonna push my image. Okay, cool. So now it should actually work. It's just probably a couple of minutes, I believe. But yeah, in the meantime, we're gonna have like the image here in minutes when this is done, and then at this point we can actually use that image to build our containers in ECS, create our task definition, our services, and of course load pass all the traffic through a load balancer, and then yeah, we'll be able to sort of run that this container on ECS. And if we still have sometimes I can actually show you how you can also, I think Elton Ryan into that issue before. What we can actually do is attach that load balancer to a CloudFront distribution, so we can actually sort of associate an SSL certificate or a domain, a secure domain, or whatever the case may be, to it. Or we can also directly just associate it to the load balancer itself. But yeah, we're just gonna take the CloudFront route here just for efficiency. But yeah, as you can see, like this is pretty much the image that I just pushed. Now that we have this, I'm just gonna go ahead and build out pretty much everything. But before I do that, I need to build out my network. So we know that the everything is sort of secured, or everything is sort of set up in a really secure way. So I'll just go into VPC. I don't have any at the moment, so I'm just going to create one. I'm just going to say my my VPC. Fine. I'll just give it a class a CRDR here. Give it a slash. Okay, let me just limit. Okay, let me just give it a /16 here. I don't know if you saw the dev chat, but yeah, I'm guessing you know exactly what this is by now. Cool. All right, cool. Now that I have the VPC, I'm just gonna create just for high availability. In this case, I'm just gonna create 2 public subnets and 2 private subnets. So what I will do here is create, I'm just gonna select my VPC there. I'm gonna call it public subnet 1. Okay. And I'll just copy it so I don't have to retype it again. I'll just give it 10.10.0.1.0/24 here, and save that. No, okay, I can actually attach it to the first availability zone there, and then I'll create another one, call it public 2, and attach it to the availability zone. This is just for high availability and things like, just so we don't have like any breaking points there. If like one availability zone sort of, or one server sort of goes down, we still have like some sort of backup for our containers. I think, yeah, that's something that's really advisable, because I mean, it looks like even like in the Software core deployment, we don't have that. We're actually using sort of the same AZ for the containers. I was actually going to submit. That's why I feel like that's maybe the reason why sometimes you get a 502 sort of error there, saying that the server is unavailable. But yeah, it's definitely something that may need some improvements there, but that is what it is. I'll go 3, 0, and then 24. Okay, yeah, this is my private subnets there. Create the last one. To be here, and then 2, 0, 4, 0. This is, I mean, I'm making them different so the IP addresses don't overlap, so they don't have any type of duplicates. And then the /24 just means that I'm using the first 3 octets for the network part of the thing. So I'm just gonna select this, which is okay. I need to probably give it a refresh. It doesn't populate automatically for some reasons. Okay, now I have access to it. So yeah, now I have my 3 and my 4 subnets here, like 2 public and then 2 private. I'm just gonna create some route tables here quickly. So yeah, this route table is directly attached to the VPC, but I'm just gonna create 2 of them for my private and public subnets. Attach it to the VPC there, and should be fine. That's the private one. I'll go public. See. Okay, and then at these points, I should be able to see my route tables there, but I'm just gonna do a route table association here quick, or the subnet association there. Just go here, edit this association. I don't even know what I selected. Okay, let's go with the public first. Subnet association, edit subnet association there, and then I'll go with my two public subnets there, all associated with that, and then I'll take the private one, the subnet association, and edit, and then I'll take the two private subnets there. Cool. Now that this is done, I'll give the public some like a public sort of access to the internet there. I'll just say my EWOGPU and save that. Go on to route tables again. I'll take the public one, go on to routes, edit routes. I'll add for all the sources or destinations. Either one. As I said lately, Okay, yeah, like this is like pretty much gonna redirect everything to the internet gateway. But I forgot to do something. I actually need to attach. If I actually go ahead and just kill this for now, you'll see that this is detached, so it's not attached to any VPC. So what I would like to do is go into it, or I could have done it on the other side, but I'm just going to attach it to a VPC. Just going to use my VPC there, and this should be fine now. If I go back to routes and then select the public one, I'll go onto routes here, edit, redirect all the traffic to the internet gateway. Now I should be able to see it there. Cool. So now that this is done, I'll go. Okay, cool. Let me just create a NAT gateway here quickly for my private IP. For my private subnets. I'll go my NAT GW. Select. I need to sort of. I need to put the NAT gateway in a publicly accessible subnet, so that it has access to the internet. So in this specific case, I'll just put it in my subnet 1. And okay, public connectivity, I'll allocate in an elastic IP there, so it can actually do the NATing properly. And then after this is done, I'll go ahead and cool. Yeah, this should be fine. And okay, I think this should be fine, but I'm just gonna have to edit the route tables again. Go onto private routes and redirect pretty much all the traffic to the NAT gateway. Cool. So yeah, at this point we should be all good to go. So this is locally, so I'll just kill that. And yeah, now that my network is set up, I'll just leave that open because we're going to come back for some security groups configurations there. But I'm just going to create a cluster here quickly. I'm just going to use Fargate for this session, so to avoid all the complexity that EC2 can have. I'll just go cluster name. I'll just call it my cluster. I'll create a VPC for the cluster, and yeah, this should be fine. I don't really need this for now. It's just a demo quick. So, but yeah, it's just gonna run some CloudFormation stacks here to build out the cluster, and we should be good. We should be able to create our services and tasks definitions. But yeah, I'm just gonna, while it's doing this, okay, I can actually just go back. It's not really gonna change anything, but yeah, let's just wait for it for okay. Cool. Yeah, I think it's done. Okay, just 1 more second. Cool. I'll go on to view cluster. Now that I have my cluster, I can actually go onto my task definition. This is pretty much like a blueprint for your containers. So yeah, I'm just gonna go task definition. I'm just gonna say my task def. And then for the role, in this case, I'm just gonna I don't have any, so I'll just leave it blank. It's fine. I'm not gonna bother. It's not. It doesn't really matter because we don't really need. We're not really using any type of like AWS resources at the moment, so we don't really need that at this point. But for the memory, I'm just gonna go for the lowest there, and I'm just gonna add a container. I'll just say, okay, before I do that, I'm just gonna open up my ECR here quick. I'm just gonna say ECR. Fine. And then I'll go add repository here. Just go in here, copy this, copy the container URI, and then I'll paste it there. So what I'll do is give it like the name, like I'll just say my container, my app container. And then I'll just leave that blank. I'll expose the port 3000 there. You know, for the port mapping, it's pretty much like what I did here, like when I did the Docker run. I mean, it's for necessarily for this command, like it's just gonna map, you know, like do the port mapping to 3000 instead of 80. So yeah, that's what that does. And then I'll just scroll down, not dealing with any env vars here. So I'll just keep these as defaults. But let me just have a quick look. Just keep this like this. And then create my container there. And I don't need any of these. Should be fine. Yeah, should be fine. Okay, create my task there. Task. Cool, should be fine. Go onto the cluster, build up my services, create a new service, use forget type, launch type, and should be fine. Service name, I'll just call it my app service. And just a number of tasks, I'll just say, okay, let's say 2, okay, let's say 1 for now. And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'll just keep that as defaults. Should be fine. Okay, cool. This should be fine. And then I'll go next here. Select my VPC there. I think this is the one. Yeah, it's the one. Cool. So I'll actually run all my containers and all my services within a private VPC. Within a private subnet. So I'll go private here again. As you can see, that the rest are just public. So we're not gonna expose our services to the internet. So yeah, this is a really like secure approach to this type of deployments. So yeah, for the security group, I'm just gonna call it SG, my app service. Let me just say service SG here. But I'll get back to this when we'll actually be dealing with load balancers and things like that. But yeah, just for now, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm just gonna leave the inbound rules like that. Okay, cool. That's fine. I don't really need this, but yeah, I'll just leave it like that for now. And then I'll just say application load balancer. I don't have like any load balancer. I'm just gonna create one quickly. Okay, cool. I'll just say application load balancer there. I'll say my ELB. Or I just say my ELB. Internet facing, it's fine. IPv4, that's cool. Yeah, okay, the listener port 80, that's cool. Yeah, and also, yeah, you might need to keep this in mind. Always, you always need to put your load balancer in a public subnet, so it actually has some sort of access to the internet, and it's publicly accessible. because it's gonna be listening on the port anyway. So we're just gonna, to ensure some sort of security, we're just gonna have to configure the what do you call this? To do some configurations on the security groups and the network control access list. If we want to sort of restrict, blacklist certain IPs, or close certain ports or things like that. So yeah, I mean, I'll actually use, I'm not going to use an existing security group. I'll just create one for it. I'll say my ELB, or Elastic Load Balancer SG. It's fine, I'll just leave that. And what I'll do is just allow traffic onto the HTTP ports there, coming from anywhere. And then I'll allow traffic on HTTPS, I guess. I don't really need HTTPS, but I'm just gonna leave it for now because we might need this for the, what do you call it, for the CloudFront distribution. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna put it there. For the target group, I'm just gonna create one. I don't have any. I'll just say my containers TG, the target group. And I'll select IP here for the target type. And yeah, for the health check, I could have created a health check endpoints there, but I'm just gonna use this one, like the roads. But you can actually create, mostly if you're deploying your backend applications and things, you can actually create a custom sort of health check endpoints there. But yeah, in this case, I'm just gonna use this one. And then I'll go next. I'm not gonna select any like specific one. I'll just leave it up to the Elastic Load Balancer to sort of manage that. And then yeah, I should be able to create my load balancer. That's cool. And then just close that. Cool, looks good. Just double check the target groups here. Nothing is running because like we don't have any sort of container running anyway, so it's fine. Just go back, and what I'll do is select there, refresh here. Okay, it's gonna auto populate there. Add my container to the load balancer. I'll sort of pass in the port ET there. Create the target group name there. I'm just gonna call it like that. It's fine for my container. And then yeah, I think this should be fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna use, okay, let me just use the one I created there. And then yeah, you have this sort of autocomplete here. You have the path pattern and then the health check endpoints there. It's fine. It's fine. And then we'll go next. Okay, I think I didn't. Oh yeah, cool. That's fine. Don't need any auto scaling right now. I will go ahead and create the service. Go view service. I have the service there, and then if I go on to tasks, hold on. Let me just go back one step. If I go on to tasks, you'll see that one task is pending there. But let me just double check the target group here just to see if everything is okay. Just refresh there. Refresh again. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's pending. Running. Cool. If I actually open it, go on to logs, you'll see that everything ran properly. So yeah, this M1 chip is just full of shit. But anyway, but the thing is, yeah, I mean, now the task is running. If we go back to what do you call it? If we go here, you will see that there is a target group that's being initialized in the Elastic Load Balancer here. the target group. So let's just give it a minute. All of these were running because the container wasn't running, so this should be fine by now. We should get one alpha here. But now that the container is running, let me just try the Elastic Load Balancer generated URL and see what it does. Generated domain here, just paste it there. Probably gonna have to wait a little bit for the target group to pop up there. Just a sec. Where is this? Okay, this should be fine, but yeah, go back to target groups. It's taking forever. Okay, it says it's unhealthy. This is weird. Hold on. Even though the task is running successfully. Okay, let's give it. Oh yeah. This I know why this is happening. All right, cool. So basically, what's happening here is the fact that it cannot. I mean, the Elastic Load Balancer cannot dock to the services that are pretty much in the private VPC. I mean, the private subnet. That's exactly what I actually forgot to do here. But what I will do here is I'll go on to security groups here. I have like 3 of them. I have the default one that directly attached to I believe the VPC. The defaults that gets created when you create a VPC. And what I will do is I'll go under the Elastic Load Balancer one. I'll go on to inbound rules. I'll edit inbound rules. And I have actually all the access to the internet. This should be fine. But the only difference here is going to have to be for the service rule here. It's very much similar to what I did in the dev chat there. But what I will do here in this case is that I won't allow all HTTP requests, because HTTP requests cannot get into the private, I'll say, subnets. So what I will do is, since the container are going to be running on 3000, what I will do is just say custom TCP here, and then I'll go port 3000, and then I'll expose it to the Elastic Load Balancer security group. So I still need to get that. I'll go back here, Elastic Load Balancer, and then copy this guy. Open this guy again. Okay, edit inbound rules. I'll go custom TCP 3000 here. Kill this. Okay. Select my ELB there. It keeps complaining about this for some reason. So what I'll do is add another one here. I'll go 3000. This is like a workaround that I found, and then kill that. So yeah, this should be fine by now. So we're only exposing the port 3000 to the Elastic Load Balancer, and then at this point it should be good to go. And then if I may just take you back here, you'll see that for the Elastic Load Balancer security group inbound rules here, we're actually allowing all the traffic from an HTTP, from the HTTP port and the HTTP one. But yeah, this is what it is. And then what I will do is go back to the target groups here, initialize another one. Okay, it says unhealthy. The other one is running, so I give it a moment to initialize another one. Okay, it's probably going to take a few seconds. Okay, let's give it a moment to put itself together. Okay, fine. That should be fine. Oh, and also I think I can give it. Okay, it says interval. Yeah, this is fine. This should be fine. 30 minutes, 30 seconds should be fine. Okay, cool. It's running. So let's see. It's gonna initialize another one. It's gonna initialize another one. Let's give it a second. In the meantime, let me just double check these configurations again. Cool. So we have like a security group for the services that's allowing inbound traffic and outbound traffic, of course, because it's stateful, for the elastic load balancer on the port 3000. Good. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this guy. I mean, it happens with the Strappy backend all the time. But cool. Let's see. The task is still running. Yeah. Let's see, it should be good. Yeah. Now we have a healthy target group there. So if we go back there and refresh, then you can see the next application running on the elastic load balancer. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys still have a minute, if you would like to go through the CloudFront setup, or if you're good here. What's your opinion?
I have time. I don't know about the other guys, but I was thinking maybe we can continue here next week. It's a lot of information to consume within a short period of time, actually.
No, sure. I get you. All right, guys. I mean, it took longer than I expected. Thanks to my laptop slowliness. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much how you can go about, pretty much like deploying like any type of like server like application, like it can be an Express server or Strappy or whatever, like, but Strappy sort of requires some environmental variables and maybe an RDS cluster setup. But this is pretty much like a pretty like straightforward way to and secure way to sort of set up your containers on ECS, private VPC, in the private subnets, like so that it's not accessible, publicly accessible, or whatever the case may be. And then you can pass through your load balancers to sort of manage the traffic and redirect it to the different target groups. So yeah, it's a really like clean setup, really like a solid one. If we're actually dealing with different environments, it's pretty much going to be the same approach, but of course you're going to have to sort of specify those like the different targets properly, maybe in your CI/CD pipeline setup or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's really like it's really as straightforward as this. It may have looked as a bit overwhelming, but if you just deploy one or two apps, it will become like second nature. So it's really straightforward and really secure setup here. So yeah, mostly like because of the network like sort of setup there, and like everything is sort of checked with the different security groups, and like you're restricting access to the maximum, which is really good. So that not anybody can sort of get into the server or do some crappy things in the EC2 instances that are running in the background. So yeah, super cool setup, and I hope you enjoyed it.